Hey everybody, it's Norman Will back for another episode of Behind the Garage Door. Today, we stay right here in Plant City, going to a farm right down the road to meet up with a kid named Jacob who has a super cool story about his 63 Impala. Well, you know what I say, any chance to drive a ZL1. All right, we made it out to Plant City here in beautiful farm country. Jacob, thank you so much for inviting us out.
Anytime.
We really, really appreciate it. A little bit of a different reveal today, but right now we're gonna pull this car out so you can see exactly what is behind Jacob's garage door. All right, Jacob, first of all, I have a passion for 60s Impalas anyway, because the car I learned how to drive on was a 1966 Impala, a 327, no power steering, no power brakes, 3 on the tree. So tell me everything about your Impala that we have right here.
Well, it's a 1963 Impala, Azure Aqua color, all original paint, original interior, original everything, original motor. It's got the 283 with a 3 on the tree. Mm-hmm. My grandpa bought it in 1963 and parked it in 69.
So wait a minute, your grandpa bought this car brand new?
Yep, brand new off the lot. Paid $3,200 for it.
$3,200, 1963.
And he had it in the garage for, well, from 1969 to 2019, I believe is about 50 years.
Why'd he park it?
Well, I hate to say this, but he tried to buy a Mustang, or he wanted to buy a Mustang.
Well, if you're gonna buy, was it a new Mustang at least?
It was a new Mustang at the time.
A 69 Mustang. Okay, all right, that's fine. I'll give him a pass on that one.
Yeah. But he parked it in 2019.
You're parked in 69.
Parked in 69, and then we pulled it out 2019 for my 16th birthday. And when that happened, we pulled it back on a gooseneck back from, this is an Ohio car from Dayton, Ohio. Pulled it back, and the first day I've had it back, I got it running. It was a miracle, but I've been fixing things here and there as things go by. I had to put new head gaskets in it and a camshaft in it, and when that happened, it's running ever since, and it runs very good, and I love it, and I drive it when I can.
So how long have you had it now?
I've had it for 3 years now.
So you're 19. Mm-hmm. 19, rocking a 63 Impala, and I have to back up just a little bit. You said the car is from Dayton, Ohio.
Yep.
Which is where I was born and raised. So what part of Ohio did it come from? What part of Dayton? Because there's suburbs all over the place.
Well, it came from Beaver Creek, Ohio.
Okay, I grew up in Centerville, which is like, they're literally like right next door to each other. So this car was right down the street from me.
Yeah.
My entire life. Because I didn't move to Florida until 2000. So this car was literally down the street from me my entire life. How cool is that?
Miracle.
Man, absolutely. So why did he parked it in 69 to buy a Mustang, but he left it parked. So why did he leave it parked?
Well, I think he thought that he was going to have it one day or redo it one day or bring it out and start driving it again, but yeah. I think he never did. But also, whenever he parked in his garage, it also filled up with some stuff. And he couldn't get to it, and I think he almost forgot it was there at some point.
So it became a table?
Yeah, it became a table. I mean, I couldn't get from here on one side, or about from here to there from it. It was just full of stuff, full of papers, boxes, everything. And that's actually how I figured out that I was gonna get it one day. I walked out there when I was probably about 14 years old and walked by it, and I saw this part of the car right there. Barely could see
the A-pillar?
Yep. And I walked inside and said, "Grandpa, what type of car is that you got in there?" He goes, "Oh, it's a 1963 Impala. You want it?" And I said, "Well, I mean, yeah, I'm only about 15 right now." He says, "Well, give it a little bit. You'll get it one day." And we went up there and got it, and now look where I'm at.
Oh my God, dude, that is so cool. I love that story, and the fact that it stayed in the family. He bought it brand new, and clearly the time that he did drive it, he took very good care of it.
Yeah.
I mean, eventually the paint is going to start to go, but I mean, there's no Ohio car, by the way, no rust. Quarters are there, rockers are there, fenders are there. I mean, it's got some patina and some rust spots on the paint, but, and what color did you say this was called?
Azure Aqua.
Azure Aqua?
Yep, that was the factory name.
Wow. See, the 66 that I learned how to drive on, I think it was called Marina Blue, yep, which was kind of the same color, but maybe a little bit darker. So the interior's all original. original paint. You obviously put some tires on it. What else have you done to it besides the head gaskets and the cam?
So when I turned 16 and I started driving it, my dad would not let me drive it without putting disc brakes on it. It had a single reservoir drum brake on it, and let's just say it did not stop very
Questionable
well.
brakes at best. Yeah.
So we decided the best thing to do with it, put a dual reservoir master cylinder on there with power brakes on it. Stops now, but I think that's about it. And I had to get new rims because the rims for the drum brakes were a little bit smaller in diameter, so you couldn't fit the caliper. But now I got the rims, but the rims that I got are now able to fit the factory hubcaps.
Okay, so those are the original hubcaps that came on?
The original hubcaps.
That is so cool, man. What a great story. What a cool car. So the one question I do have, Jacob, about everything about this car are the mirrors. I don't think that I've ever seen those kind of mirrors before. Not that I'm questioning them or anything, but aren't they usually supposed to be up by the door? Or
Yeah, from what I learned and everything about when I knew I was getting it, is the mirrors, there would be one mirror or sometimes two, but it would be right there close to that pillar. Well, I asked him about that. I said, so why did you put these on here? Because they're also, it's a different look to it.
Yeah.
And that was something that he liked. He put them on when he bought it. After he bought it, he decided, okay, well, I like these. So he put them on there.
So are they factory GM mirrors? Or do we even know?
I don't even know.
They fit great.
Yeah, they look. I think they look good.
I love it.
But everyone else is like, that's not an Impala. They don't look like an Impala. And I said, well, that's what he did. He decided that he wanted to put them on there. So
yeah, that was Grandpa's custom touch.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at that at all. So there were 3 levels of this car back in '63. What were the Impala, the Biscayne,
and the Bel Air.
And the Bel Air. And this is the Impala.
Yeah, the Biscayne and the Bel Air would have 2 lights in the back instead of 3 or 6. It have 2 on one side and 2 on the other side instead of 3 on one side and 3 on the other side like the Impala did.
Okay. And
it would also come with a 3 on the tree manual. And the Impalas would come with the 4 on the floor or the 2-speed Power Glide.
Okay.
Now this one he factory ordered. So this one is an Impala, and it's the upper version, but it has a 3 on the tree manual. So it was something a little bit different.
With a 283?
With the 283 on it.
So why did he opt for the 3 on the tree instead of the 4-speed, or did you even ask?
I think it was because he was the type of person just wanting everything real simple.
Okay.
He didn't want nothing, no more,
no
like
fancy.
Nothing fancy.
Less knobs, less buttons, less things to go wrong.
I think the 3 and tree was something he saw that was most easy, and I think it's been around the longest. He knew that was the best, so
tried
decided to go with that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, the little silver chrome thing in between the rear seats is a speaker?
And that was the little funny part there. It looks like a speaker, it doesn't, but you shine a light in there, it's actually not. It's for looks.
See, if I'm not mistaken, and anybody can correct me in the comments, my 66, it was a speaker.
Yeah.
I think it was a speaker.
And I thought it was a speaker when I first got it, and I never really messed with it, and I said, okay, well, I want to do the audio with this thing. And when I did do that, the speaker, there's only one speaker in the car, and it's a little one up here on the top dash.
Yeah, yeah.
But that one in the back, I always thought was one until I decided to look at it one day, and it was not. And I was like, what?
Well, damn.
It's only for looks, I guess. But
it's a little early for that, because if I'm not mistaken, in later years, 3 years later, that actually was a speaker. Now there's some cool stickers on the car. Tell me about some of the stickers. I know there's one that's kind of faded out on the front, and then there's some other ones on the back.
Yeah, so my grandpa bought this car in '63. He was also going to college at that time. He lived in Dayton, Ohio, and he was driving down to University of Kentucky with his car. So there was some stickers on here that was the alumni for University of Kentucky, and things like that. The other stickers are for the Air Force. So he would have a sticker up here that they would see, and they would know that he was part of the Air Force when he came onto the base, and they would give him the salute.
Wright Pat.
Yeah, Wright Pat.
Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Dayton, Ohio, yeah.
He would, when he came on there, they knew who he was, and then he would just drive on right by. And then also the stickers on the back were more Air Force stickers that just sold the person going by who he is, whose car this owns.
Such a neat car. And you were telling me off camera when we talked to him a couple of weeks ago, he kept meticulous records of this car as well, right?
He did. He wrote a book, well, not a book, but he had a pamphlet of every single time he filled it up with gas. Anything, if he replaced the light on June 10th, 1967, he wrote that down. He wrote down everything he did to this car, wrote down when he put the mirrors on, wrote down when he did an oil change. He even wrote down the miles per gallon. He calculated out from how much he put in, how much he spent, and how far he drove.
Did you read all that? What was it getting? Do you remember?
So the lowest I saw it get one time was 12, and the highest I saw it get one time was 22.
That's respectable. 63 Impala getting 22 miles per gallon.
That was the highest, and I think that was probably going to Kentucky one day, going down to Kentucky.
I can see why. I remember my dad doing that whenever we would take trips from Dayton down to Spring City, Tennessee. You're right down there, trying to figure out the mileage and everything else, and I was like, let's just go. Let's get there.
He would do that. He wrote it down, everything he did to it.
So Jacob, do you have any future plans for the car? Are you going to restore it? Or are you going to leave it the way it is, the patina and the drivetrain and everything else? Or do you have any plans?
I think I'm going to try to leave it the way it is. I don't want to restore it because I know how good it looks. Pretty decent right now.
It does. And
I want to keep it that way because I know that that's the way my grandpa had it, and he kept it for that long, and I think that's pretty
I respect
special.
that. Absolutely respect that.
So I want to keep it. If I'm going to do anything at one point, I do want to put a clear coat on it or something to stop the rust from going on.
Yep.
But I still wanted to keep it the same look and everything.
That is a brilliant move and a brilliant idea, and I got nothing but respect for that. So leaving the 283, leaving the 3 on the tree,
yep.
leaving it just the way it is.
What you see right now is what
I like it. I like that a lot. Jacob, thank you so much for inviting us out to your house, sharing your 63 Impala that you got from your grandpa. Dayton, Ohio. I mean, what are the chances that this car was not more than 10 miles from me the entire time I was growing up? That is nuts. We're gonna head back to the dealership and wrap it up. All right, I told you guys that was going to be a super cool story. Thank you, Jacob, for sharing it with us and sharing that cool car. And it just amazes me that here we are in Florida, and that car was 10 miles down the road from me the entire time I was growing up in Ohio. Crazy. Jacob wanted also to share with us, right when we were getting ready to leave, some of the things that he found inside the car. Check this out. How cool is that? The original owner's manual, the repair manual, the dwell meter for setting the points. Jacob, thank you so much for sharing that car. Thank you so much for reaching out to us. Jacob actually found us on Instagram and said, hey, I've got a car. Would you like to do a story? Heck yeah. So if you have a car, you know somebody, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube right here, or TikTok, or anywhere else, reach out to us. We would really like to hear from you and see what kind of cool car you have and share it with everybody. Make sure you're here next Thursday for another episode of Behind the Garage Door.